Hey campers, George here with Mary. Who knows what she's doing? Anywho, remember this guy? I found this guy at a flea market. So I'm thinking we can clean it up and make it look pretty. Let's check it out. So yeah, it's been a while. The boss hasn't been around because I've been sick and she didn't want to get sick, so she hides away. Back to the knife. Yep, this guy. Found it at a flea market just up the road a couple of weeks ago. And it's a Victorinox, a real one. I wasn't sure, so I took some pictures and sent it to, the expert, the knife doctor. Came back to me, he said, yep, it's the real deal. Good job, how much did you pay for it? I can't remember if it was $1 or $3. Anyway, it was a good price. There you go. You can actually see the whole shooting match. See that? Very cool. And on the other side, very cool. I really like this knife, except the scales. Look at them. They're really beat up, and this wasn't an advertiser. And I don't like them. You can see it has the Swiss stamp on there, and it said something here. And it's pretty beat up. When I say beat up, the scales are beat up. And, it needs a good cleaning. I was convinced that it was a cadet. The model was a cadet. Well, you guys put me straight in a hurry. And that's why I love you guys. You guys know this stuff. There's always somebody out there who's got the answer. And my buddy in Germany? He came back to me and he said, George, he said to me that it is not a cadet. It is a recruit. Why? Because of that blade, the pen blade. The recruit has a pen blade. The cadet has a nail file. That's the difference. Plus it's a little older because it doesn't have like your toothpick and tweezers. Yeah. And of course, if you saw the tang marks, I got to figure that out. And hopefully I can put it up here for you. Hopefully. So I'm going to show you this guy because it was in really good condition. I think people walked past it because of the scales and the old advertising and thought it's a fake. Here it is here. Look at that. It's in pretty good condition. Needs a nice little clean up and we can do all that good stuff. But it's in, the actual knife itself is not too bad. So I thought to myself, you know what? I hate those scales. I want to change them. I want to give this guy a whole new look. So I went online. Well, in the US, I found a guy in San Diego who had the red ones. And, I ordered them, but it wasn't what I wanted. But that's all I could find. But I carried on surfing. Why? Because I'm persistent. And nothing succeeds like a bird with no teeth. Get it? I found this guy. See him there? Messerspezi, German, Messerspezi. My German's not that great. But I found him. And if you scan there quickly with your phone right now, but he had what I was looking for. And he had this stuff, he had the tweezers, the pin, the toothpick, the lanyard, and the scales, which I'll show you later. Hopefully, if this works, it's going to be pretty cool. So, let's go do that. So what I want to do is this guy. And what I want to do is replace the scale and clean it up and make it look all nice and pretty. That's the plan. I'm just hoping I get these scales off and put the scales that I got on. I hope they fit. I got these parts from Germany actually, which is very cool. Fortunately, this has the little ringy still on it, so that worked out. All I got to do is replace the scales because, yeah, look. This is really old school. It didn't have the things for the things. We got to take those off. Done this before, and it was fun. I made a nice. I did it on this guy. Remember this guy? And I put the blue scale on that side and the red on that side, and changed the thingies. I love that. That's so cool. You can actually personalize them. That's what I want to do now. Now, if you watch my channel, I'm a Rough Rider fan. I love traditional, And I love a nice white bone handle. Something like that, a white handle, just appeals to me as a step-out knife. Not a work knife or anything like that. It's something that when you're in the evening, you're going somewhere to dinner or something like that, you have that in your pocket. When I go to work, I actually carry a couple of different knives. Sod Busters or the Victorinox. I took the Tinker for a while, and then I upgraded and got the Hiker and things like that. So totally different. They have the red handles and everything like that. Everybody can see it's a Victorinox. This, I want to be a step out, what I call a step out. Not your normal everyday carry to work type thing. But when you're going to dinner and things like that and you need a knife for some reason, you can pull this out and people go, whoa, nice. I liked white, and yeah, here you go. I got some white ones. Searched all over for them. Couldn't find the right size. Everybody had the big ones, the little ones, the wrong size. But this guy came through. Surprisingly, when I ordered this, it came through in like 10 days from Germany. Pretty cool. So check him out, and I'll put a link below. He's got stuff. So let's get these scales off, and I'm trying to decide, should I clean the knife once I got the scales off, or clean the knife when I put the new scales on. I don't want to put scales on, take them off, put them on, take them off. So I'm going to take the scales off here and clean it up, and then we'll see if the other ones fit. Here we go. Just so that you know, I don't just blow these up for fun. It's a good way to check for leaks. Because if you're using something that's really suspect for your skin, you can blow them up and make sure that, you know, they don't go down. We're not just playing here, we're actually doing something safe. Okay, so the first thing we've got to do is get these scales off. And the best way I know is to use another Victorinox. So just use either this one or the other one. And if you can get in between them, you just got to pop that scale. If you can get in there. See that? See how it's in there? I can pop it off. And if you go around slowly, you don't want to force it, because you really don't want to break those clips. So you just want to gently pop them off, just like that. Look at that. It's got a number on it. Never noticed that before. Do these have numbers on? They have different numbers. This must be really old school. And interestingly enough, you see there's an R on it there. Can you see that? See that? Look on here. Down there, there's an R. Huh. Didn't notice that before. Got to do the same thing on the other side. On these Victorinoxes that already have the holes for where the toothpick and that goes, that's the side to start. Did you see that? That popped off pretty easy. That's interesting. This is kind of old school. I'm hoping those are going to go on. There we go. So there it is there. See that? Now what's interesting is these guys have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Is this going to fit? Oh, we'll soon find out. Either way, we can always put these back on. Now open it all up, spray it with some good old WD-40, because why? That's all I have. And it seems to work for me. I'm sure there's better stuff. If you have a really bad rust and things like that on it, WD-40 is okay, but you have to rub away at it. I've heard people say oven cleaner, all sorts of things. But I'm going to, this guy doesn't need that. Just needs a good cleaning. So I'm just going to give him a good spray here. I don't want to get crazy on it. And you want to get in there where all the movement is. And I'm going to let it sit and settle. But I'm going to work these a little bit, just like that. And this guy, ooh, still got a good spring on that. Look at that. Just work them back and forth. Be careful with the blades, just to get that WD-40 in there. Let it sit for a little bit. Yeah, it's been sitting for a minute or two, so I'm just going to use this jeweler's screwdriver. If you remember my last mail call, Minnesota Gary sent me this, and he also sent me this toothpick, which if I need it, I want to use it. It's really cool, but he said, use this first. So I'm just going to go through, scratch it up here and get rid of any gunk. I need to get myself a set of jeweler's screwdrivers, a cheap set just that I can use for this, the different sizes and whatnot. So I'm just going in there, loosening up all the goop. We're just loosening all the gunk out of there, and you can see it got a lot of the stuff off here. I do have these little brushes which I can get in there and just brush out and loosen up any gunk in there. See, you got pieces like that coming out. It's a pocket fur. People put these in their pocket and they walk around and they rub and they just build up. I'm going to start getting all this stuff off here. I want to get cleaned up here. Hopefully these are going to fit. But I just want to get most of the goop off. Just wipe off all the excess. There will be excess in there that'll drip later, but you know what? You can always just wipe it off. It's just WD-40. Yeah, that cleaned up nicely. Wow. Okay, that's very cool. Look inside there now. Look at that. All nice and shiny and whatnot. But I do want to get that cleaned out. I don't like dirty nail nicks. Look at this. So I'm just going to run this through here back and forth a couple of times, see if we can clean out that nail nick. A lot of it came out there, look at that. Obviously the blade was the most used. Nice clean nail nicks now. Close it up, get rid of that excess. And let's see. Oh, I hope these are going to fit. Something I always like to do once I put WD-40 on stuff, and when you're putting stuff back on, you don't want oil sitting underneath it and that sort of stuff. So I like to just give it a once over with some alcohol. Alcohol will clean most stuff up, especially oily stuff. Put the alcohol, give it a good rub. And the nice thing about alcohol, you let it sit, it'll evaporate. So I just mainly want it off the outsides here where I'm going to be putting the skins back on. And by the way, it says the R there, you can see it there, stamped there, and L. Let me take my gloves off now once I get rid of all this stuff. Start from scratch. Let's see if these are gonna work. I'm hoping. Look at them, beautiful. Look at those. See, these don't say left, right, up, down, whatever. I'm hoping. Because it's this side. Ha! Okay. I just want them holding. So far so good, which means this guy. See that little pin there? That must line up. No, it doesn't. Look at that. Ha! Huh, that's interesting. I wonder if there's meant to be a pin there. And it seems to have held this long. Okay. Now if you look, I got them pressed on, but still a gap, so you got to press them in with something. I use my little vise here, which has the rubber pads on it, so it doesn't affect anything. So here you can see my little vicey, and it has these little rubber guards, so you want to use those. I don't want to mark these. Take a piece of paper, put it in there, loosen it off a bit, and do one side at a time. And it doesn't take a lot of pressure. You'll hear it click in if you have them lined up. They didn't really click, but it's very subtle. You have to listen carefully, and you know what, they probably did. So as you can see, as I tighten this slowly, you see these gaps. Easy. You don't want to go too hard because you might crack it. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. It worked. Wow, look at that. I love this. Look at that. Look how clean and new that looks. Ooh-dee. Now we got some accessories. Now, you know me, we're not going to keep everything standard. I got black, and I'm hoping these actually fit. So we're about to find out. Oh, did you hear that? Clicked right in. And we got the best tweezers in town. Oh, ha ha ha. Look at that. Lanyard. Is that not the prettiest one you've ever seen? Look at that. Let's open it up, because we still got to polish the blades and whatnot. I am so excited right now. Look at this. I can't believe how good this looks. I am so excited right now. So there you are. Look at that. Is that not a thing of beauty? Wouldn't you take this out to the movies or to dinner with your lady or your gentleman? I could see a lady carrying this in her purse. Yeah? I don't know if I can make a slip for this. Oh, a black one maybe? So what I'm going to do now is polish everything up. I'm not going to bore you with that. What I'm going to do is use my Dremel. There it is there. I went through and just cleaned up the blades. I didn't do a lot to it. They didn't really need a lot, but they do need to be cleaned up. The blades are a little dull. Now, I was thinking about a pocket slip. You know, it's a really nice, clean white handle. And I didn't want to use a hard leather, an abrasive leather, because will scratch it up. But then I remembered I had some leather that was given to me by Will, and it's actually buckskin, and it is so soft. So I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. I have enough here that I can put a slip together. Basically the same thing as this, having the little overlap here with a nice little thingy on it. The knife itself has a lanyard on it, so getting it out of the slip's not a problem. But that's what I'm looking at. Basically this, but a shorter version. Most of my colors are dark, and this is what? Actually, I was just thinking of leaving it this natural buckskin, soft on the inside, so this would be in there like that. It feels so good that I think I might not even color it. So that's what I plan to do. But here is my new magnificent oh, Victorinox. I can't believe how well this turned out. It looks so much better than I thought it would. I really like these white scales, not for work or anything like that. Here I am with my new redressed Recruit. Look at that. And it's an old guy. So there you go. A very quick way to upgrade your Recruit. You will be safe out there, especially when you're playing with this stuff. This. And there you can see it there. Very nice, nice. Very happy with this. Getting into this stuff, I really like this idea, and it's beautiful. It's aged enough. It's an old enough version. Just the scales have been updated, so nice little collector. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. You know the story. Pretty sure I'll be back. I've got things lined up here that I've got to get to. If you saw my last mail call, I've got a project to do there. And I have some other stuff, and I have other stuff from some other shopping I did around town. I found a couple I spent like 20 bucks there and got 5 knives. Hammer brand. So there you go. Appreciate you watching, always. And you guys out there, you be careful. Just say, see you again soon.